One of the best ways for a Street Fighter 2 fan to spend a couple bucks is right here, the Street Fighter collection for the original PlayStation, which plays on the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 and has 3 different versions of Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold. Whew, that's a lot of Street Fighter. So much, in fact, that this game is a 2-disc collection. Street Fighter 2 Alpha Gold Hyper Ultra Remix Prologue 32X is on its own disc. Alright, a fighting game that I can play. As you can see, the original PlayStation does an excellent job presenting the arcade visuals in Street Fighter. I'll be playing most of this review as Chun-Li, who is really the only Street Fighter 2 character I'm any good with. I'm the strongest woman in the world.
Round 3, fight!
That's what it says on screen. I like playing as Chun-Li because she's the master of cheap moves, and I'm a big fan of using cheap moves in fighting games. Why memorize fancy button combos and complicated joystick movements when you can just jump around the screen and kick people, winning with cheap moves? My friends hated that, which made me like playing as Chun-Li all the more. I remember this time back in the early 90s, back when you played video games against people, you actually saw them in person. And he was really excited because he knew every special move with Vega. And the look of anger on his face when I defeated him just by jumping and kicking was priceless. It still makes me feel good to this day. You and your precious Vega. Ha ha, bitch. That guy was a real condescending prick, too. I remember him well. Hope you're watching. I challenge you to pit fighter. I'll still win. Well, you get the idea here. You get a lot of Street Fighter 2 in the Street Fighter collection. The title is misleading. It should be the Street Fighter 2 collection. I'm glad to see that the guy in the back left is still drinking that bottle of vodka. You think it would get warm by now? You get the idea. Let's take a look at the other game on the first disc, Super Street Fighter 2, which is pretty similar to the one I was just playing, but you get all these in one collection for one affordable price. Let's pull off some cheap kicks here. You know, I may not actually play as any other characters in this review, come to think of it. I'm using an arcade-style fighting stick for this game review. The ASCII-ware arcade stick for the PlayStation. The ass-kicking-ware arcade stick for the PlayStation, which I previously reviewed. A giant gray joystick that looks like the original gray PlayStation. It works well for this. I think that Street Fighter is one of those games where you really want an arcade-style joystick, especially if you're used to playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcades. Let's move on and take a look at Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold. There's lots of new characters and a totally different visual style, but I'll still be playing as Chun-Li. This is actually my favorite part of the collection because I have numerous other versions of the standard Street Fighter 2. The Alpha version is one I did not actually have before I got this collection, thanks to Frank in California who donated it. He's a patron of the arts, helping to keep Classic Game Room flooded with fighting games. I enjoy the backgrounds in this version of Street Fighter 2. They're pretty cool. And a special move. I don't usually pull those off. Certainly not in key situations. That's a look at the Street Fighter collection. Very easy to find and extremely affordable these days for the PlayStation. Looks great in high definition when you play it on the PlayStation 3 as well. Several versions of the game can't be wrong when it's all in the same price tag. I've lost track of the amount of different Street Fighter collections I have around the studio here. I've got the Street Fighter 3 on the Dreamcast. I still haven't reviewed that one yet. Street Fighter EX3 on PlayStation 2. Street Fighter 2 on the Vectrex. That one has not been made yet. And of course you can also get Street Fighter 2 on Xbox Live, which I'll be using to test out a new joystick in the future. Wait for that review. But until then, what are you waiting for? Go play some Street Fighter 2.
Game over.